Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We're here once again. Don't worry, we have survived the heat wave, and Pablo with his 2 bottles of water is reminding you, please stay safe and hydrate at all costs, because we'd like to see you back in further days for some more Call of Duty action. But after the dreaded heat waves, Pablo, we're finally back with some Call of Duty action, ready for LCQs this weekend. I mean, both me and you need a bit of warm up for that, don't we? It's been a while.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I kind of forget what Vanguard looked like to a certain extent. But yeah, I mean, I just literally dragged the green yes across all potential games for Sunday. So the passion's still there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to some COD tonight. And these prolonged gaps are kind of killing me as well, because I keep going into games and being like, is that actually P1 or is that P2? What the hell is going on? We need this new game to come so fast. But yeah, I'm looking forward to casting over one of our legends and brethren in Aquilini tonight. So that's going to be fun. It's been such a long time, not only since I think I've seen him play, but I've casted over him. So this should be fun.
Yeah, well, I see him play all the time because he carries me in league play 24/7 very generously as I milk him religiously. But yeah, our teams for tonight, guys, if anyone is wondering, obviously unfortunate, we casted them the other day. I believe I casted that one solo, if memory serves me well, is Mr. Aquilini, Alfie Mead, and also Pablo noted 2 of the female COD players in Flower and V, who I'm pretty sure anyone who's been around the ACCL long enough will know that these 2 are not to be taken lightly. They're one of the very more prestigious female Call of Duty players on the scene at the moment, and to make up quite a decent team of 4 actually that shouldn't be underrated by any means.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, looking forward to seeing this mixed powerhouse this evening. But yeah, they're up against some reasonable players on the other side, and players we have cast over before. I often mentioned nearly impossible name to get right in HD, and obviously we've cast over Zampi about 1 billion times. But not sure about Shoro, someone I definitely don't remember casting over in the past. But Rafael rings a bell as well, so this should be a decent game.
Yeah, so I'm just quickly letting boys and gals know, because I had to do this last time to make sure that I don't refer to them as lads, because we have 2 ladettes on the team of Team Unfortunate, which is a very simple mistake to make, and obviously us 2 are very prone to making simple mistakes anyway.
It's 100% gonna happen.
Let me just let them know that everything's good to go. But our map pool as well is beautifully placed for some nice, hot, sweaty summer weather. As far as casting is concerned, double Bocage. We've got a bit of a break in between in a Berlin, and then and double Tuscan. So SMG heaven pretty much in this one, Pablo.
I don't even consider that Berlin to be a break. No. I don't think you can consider it a break. It's like someone's going to push B regardless, because everyone's so used to pushing P1 on Berlin hardpoint that B is just, it's not like Tuscan B, you know what I mean? No. Can you imagine if, like, this is the scenario I've been thinking about. Can you imagine that Tuscan hardpoint starts, P1 is where P2 is? Like, it would be a nightmare obviously for the team starting over towards tile side. So this control in Berlin is as quick as Bocage, if not a bit quicker. So it's get your horse racing commentary head on. We're going to be going 10 to the dozen.
Yeah, I was telling Pablo literally before, I've had to order an air conditioning unit for because I had to turn down a game yesterday, and I believe a game the day before, because turning on the computer and running COD and obviously OBS, I was like, I can't do this. It's literally the most uncomfortable heat. Yeah, because I mean, down here we hit 40 degrees, so it was absolutely horrific. I know you mentioned up there, Pabs, that your weather wasn't quite as brutal. But down here for us,
I think it peaked at like 35, so it wasn't nearly as bad. But yeah, it was still uncomfortable. But I don't think anyone wants to run the PC in the same room as them when they're sat in their underwear, which is no good. But we are straight off, and you can already see the impact that Viola and Flower are going to have. They are, already out the blocks. There's an early lead for the Unfortunates, but it is, only P1 major. Yeah. We've got plenty of time to go on this frenetic map.
Yeah, and already the spawns have now flipped as a result of that kill. V and Flower, though, still combining for a decent number of kills. And I will quickly shout out Prezi and Ollie as well for the subs. Thank you very much, guys. 1 year, Oliver. 1 year. Thank you very much, buddy. And thank you, Joseph, as well. Handsome man who helps make it all happen. There's Mr. Aquilini with a nice cheeky 2-piece. I won't gas him up too much in this because I know his head is big enough already, but really strong start from both respective teams just in terms of engagements. And obviously you can now see that number 7 in Aqua is going to be ready on the rotation, ready for P2, and looking to try and lock out some one of the more money hills, I suppose you would say, Pablo, but by a very big stretch, I suppose, on Bocage because it can flip very, very quickly as Shuro's now flying out the back looking to try and flip spawns.
the margins for money hills in Bocage is so tight. You've literally got to have a whole team that are capable of like ultimate control. And as much as I don't want to face Aqua over towards the back with that AR, I guess the guys from IU Woodsticks aren't nearly as kind of like scared of him, and they've managed to push from the front. It's something that we've seen maybe, you know, over the last 4 to 5 months. The start of Bocage, you didn't really see teams kind of pushing from the front. They did look for spawns, but over the last few months, we've seen this fashion for this kind of very aggressive play from the front. Get yourself settled quite nice on Dashy Tank and make hay while the sun shines, and Mage, they've got themselves a 20-point lead in the process.
Yeah, and now we've got a position where HD has got a lot of potential to upset a few spawns here. He is going to go up top and run straight into the gun of Mr. Alfie Mead. Zampy's going to manage to get a pick onto V, and it looks as though they're going to be able to work their way inside the hill. Now they're going to have to try and budge Aqua, who is just sat out the back, the wall bang there, straight through the corner of that bottom grannies, and it's going to be a position where HD's going to get shot out the back as well. So nice work out the back again from Aqua. And oh, and George with the tig old biddies. He started, oh my god, he started the hype train. Thank you very much, George.
Poor George.
And Felix Major Cock. Nice cock. Thank you very much, Felix. Hope you're well, brother. Hope you're very well. But a really strong start coming out of IU Woodsticks is now going to put them in a position where all they need to do is get a couple more kills. And now, with 20 seconds still remaining on this one, it's slowly starting to slip away a little bit from unfortunate here. They've got to be careful not to allow too much of a lead, because so many hills on Bocage can allow teams just to quickly rotate, soak up scrap time, and it's going to be around a 30-point difference as we go in towards that next barn hill. As you always mention, Pablo, I believe the term is cat among the pigeons when it comes to this one.
Yeah, you know that I overuse those terms so much. It needs some new metaphors quite desperately. Listen, they came out, the boys from unFOURtunate, sorry, the boys and girls from unFOURtunate came out to P2 with a 20-second deficit and have now come out to P3 with a 30-second deficit. So a little bit of a regain, a mini first rotation regain, very much required. It does look like the kills are going to go the way with Alfie getting a beautiful 2-piece, make that a 3-piece as he drops both the team. Zampy, though, the one he couldn't quite slay, is going to be there in mid. And that AR Major is doing some absolute damage outside barn, but the deficit has been brought back to around at about 14 seconds.
Yeah, so strong start to the barn hill. And oh, Felix with a sub as well. Jesus, thank you very much.
Oh,
Mr. Felix.
Stars coming in, subbing.
Just saying, Felix, next COD, the expectations, very high. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, a little bit.
Yeah, thank you very much, mate. Thank you very much.
Like a young LeBron.
Yeah, yeah, that's kind of where we've set the bar at this point for this young man.
I want to see him on Sports Illustrated with a controller in his hand.
Yeah, I want to see him getting interviewed on all the big screens in a few years' time. Next, selfies with Scumpy. But yeah, the boys and girls of unFOURtunate still trailing by 20 as we go over towards the next hill. They have now flooded in towards the hill, and Shuro's got a big job on his hands, but he will take one down. Flower with a nade, pinpoint straight into the back pocket of him. Now means that it's going to be a bit of a mopping up job here, and Aqua is going to manage to win a gunfight up towards that top cab. And now, where do IU Woodsticks decide to try and push this from? Zampy looks as though he's going to try and push it from up top, so that person on the hill in V is going to drop very, very shortly and swiftly. And nice work, though, from Zampy with this assault rifle. He's really holding lanes down as he does finally get cut down, but you can see the damage is already done at the moment. Rafate is now on a 4 streak. Zampy and Shuro are doing a good job in terms of slaying. And to be fair, Pablo, when you look at the numbers, unFOURtunate, they're actually doing quite a good job of staying in this one.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the slaying, it's not exactly there, but, you know, if you're going to say one thing, you take someone like Viola, who's 10 and 15, she has just managed to get herself an extra kill, but she's solid 40 seconds of time, and right now she's the time leader as such for the unFOURtunate, so a great job by her, and obviously Flower just slowly but surely creeping back to 12 and 20, slightly off the pace you would consist, maybe on the struggle bus, but again, 20 seconds is no mean feat, especially on Bocage, and we're only hitting that second rotation right now, but again, IU Woodsticks just behind Zampy's AR and Shuro's insanity. Right now, they've got themselves a 40-second lead, and Major, we talk about it all the time, this kind of death by 1,000 cuts, you know, over time. They've lost 10 seconds almost exclusively from P2 in the first rotation, every single hill.
Yeah, now with 50 seconds being the deficit, every single time they soak up around 10 to 15 seconds of scrap time, all it takes is maybe 5 or 6 hills, and the game is pretty much done. So, and now, really, really important rotation. But he's got a lot of work out the back here, potentially. Zampy is just going to be pushing around. She's going to be caught, though, just picking up the assault rifle literally at the worst time there is V. So now they've got an opportunity to really push this lead out to a serious amount now. The kills are coming through. The combined streak, I believe, was at 11 before Rafe finally dropped. And look at number 3, Zampi, watching out the back. Aqua's going to get tagged up and spotted, so the info is at least there, and Zampi's going to take the man off the hill. They are trying desperately to push their way around the back, and Alfie will win a really important gunfight. But while all the madness is going down, they still manage to keep those players alive on the hill. You can see that Shuro and HD, they're still stacking it. They're opting just to lob bodies at this one, and it's working.
Yeah, I mean, it was really handy that Alfie Mead was able to get that kill and push out, because it got the boys from and girls from unFOURtunate the spawns that they desperately needed, and might just be at the right time as well, just to keep them at least within 50 seconds, because right now it's slowly but surely starting to slip away from them quite dramatically. And when you look at that, Aqua with the big brains looking to try and get set up over towards Granny's, but he is isolated right now with a massive fight about to come down. Thankfully, he is going to decide to wait for a little bit of backup, but I think the players from IU Woodsticks know he's there, and in fact do drop him from outside tank there, and that's going to be a big play for them. They're going to be able to potentially get those back spawns, and already that kill major is lighting up red.
Yeah, and Alfie, just by playing his life at the top here, is actually going to spot a couple of players coming off respawn potentially. Zampi's going to get tagged up, won't get the kill onto him just yet. And the thing is, Alfie's got to challenge the hill here, because they're managing to keep the time on their side at the moment are IU Woodsticks, and it is very much red once again in the kill feed, as Rafe's going to get another 4 streak to put on the board. They're going to look to try and trade these players out as Alfie tries to punch his way back in once again, but at the moment, unfortunately, they've got to be careful here at the moment, because they are starting to solo push some of these hills. Aqua is going to manage to take one down. It's actually going to be a teammate that comes through from Flower, so he's not going to be too best pleased with that one, and Rafe flies back onto her, gets the kill, and with 15 seconds worth of scrap time, it looks like it might go their favour. It's looking as though that 200-point mark is going to be inevitable, but Aqua with 1, looking for the second. It's a really important kill, even in the smaller scale of things here, Pablo, because it is just going to stop them from getting over that 200-point mark. But you can see, again, those red arrows, they're ready to go on the next hill, and this time, unFOURtunate, they have not rotated.
Yeah, I think Aqua's gone a little bit rogue on his own. I think he's just trying to break the hill almost exclusively by himself there. There is the support coming in from his team, but again, he's having to get 2 and 3 pieces, and I can almost feel the disappointment in him. He's just so passionate about this game, but it is going to be, again, major the problem being this huge, red kill feed that pops up time and time again as the team in IU Woodsticks get a complete wipe. It is going to be Alfie, though, largely being very heroic in his pushes, but HD is behind, and right now they've breached the 200 mark by some distance, and the guys and gals from unFOURtunate managed to get into the hill. The question is, nearly 100-second deficit major. Is it too little too late, even on Bocage?
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, it is literally 1 at a time. Everyone's coming off respawn. They're pushing in single file, and they're just getting cut down by the troops that are already in there. They will get some scrap time. V is on it, but it's only going to be 3 seconds, and in the grander scheme of things, it's not going to be a huge chunk of time that's going to save them on this map. You can see that HD is just lurking down towards the underground section of the map. He will manage to fly out to take Alfie off the hill, and now all of a sudden they're going to try and flood these players out the back. The shot's a little bit windless from HD, but they're not going to be the second time round onto V. They are going to manage to flood their way back in towards the hill, unFOURtunate. They will manage to get Aqua on the hill, but one's going to fall. The man's going to drop potentially on his head here. Hamza's going to do a really good job to stay alive. He's not going to be able to, and now you can see that V, with actually a really important 2-piece, she's struggling at the moment, but potentially 2 of the biggest kills that she's had so far, as it will now stop them from getting ever closer to that 250-point mark.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she did absolutely awesome to get those kills. And again, just soaking up time. She's got nearly 1 minute 10 just on her own. The 2 girls in Viola and Flower, where they haven't necessarily been able to stay out, have got themselves, over 2 minutes at time. But again, it's just been those consistent kills, getting into hills, breaching them, and then being able to breach them back. But right now, IU Woodsticks potentially not going to be able to win it here, but they are going to be 2 seconds off that point. So this is going to be huge, and that is going to be P1 already there for IU Woodsticks, who major looked in control from the start, and a 100-point deficit is probably a justifiable scoreline in the end.
Yeah, I think you would say so. I think with the first portion of the game, I think unFOURtunate bought themselves a lifeline just in terms of staying in the game with the amount of kills that they were kind of lacking. But unfortunately, on a Bocage, over the grander scheme of things, when you've got Rafa going 31 and 19, you need to get the kills to go with it. And unfortunately for unFOURtunate, no pun intended, they just weren't really there.
Yeah, 70 kills, not 70 non-traded kills from one side. It's probably going to see you off in a blockage hardpoint. And unfortunately, I think obviously the issue for unfortunates was that the two ladies just not able to really keep up in the slaying department. They were absolutely, getting the time in there. But again, when you're almost pushing double negative in your kills between two players, and especially in a blockage where kills, in any situation are vital. You obviously need them to break and hold kills, but in transition as well, it's one of the few maps where you do need to slay out to win the game. We know that we've seen hardpoint games before on Tuscan and on Berlin, and obviously in Cold War previously, where you don't necessarily need to get a ton of kills in order to win the hardpoint, but blockage is definitely the outlier in that kind of scenario.
Yeah, so it will be map number 1 to IU Woodsticks, and at the moment just waiting on the guys. We've got pretty much everyone in, so we should be flying into a blockage search and destroy straight away. But I believe when I casted these guys last time was you practicing your kung fu, Babs. Like I just saw.
I was like flying. Never mind. It's been one of them days. I was up early,
It's the heat, mate. It's the heat.
Get fit. Yeah, doing it in the heat as well. That was awful yesterday. Yesterday, by the way, hottest day of the year was the day that my son decided he wanted me to swap out his 30-meter Ethernet cable from the side of the house. So that was just awesome.
He was literally waiting. He was looking on his calendar. He was like 40 degrees tomorrow. He's like, oh, I think I got.
He just came down with the packet as well. I was like, I think we should do it today. I was so hot. It was like, yeah, this is a great idea. But yeah, so yeah, it's been a belter 2 days though. I'm not going to complain. I absolutely love the sun. Do you know what I mean? So I've been more than happy to sit outside and get tan these pasty boobs.
we need to. Oh my god, we need to get some form of like a outdoor casting shack on the go. I just need I basically need a longer Ethernet cable, and hopefully, we can do it under gazebos one day if global warming keeps us going. And I will just quickly, because I haven't forgotten Noons. Don't worry, he does want a major suit. Thank you very much, Ryan. And Mr. Terry Yogs. If you don't love Terry Yogs, what are you doing at this point in time, anyways? But we're now going into our map number 2 in Blockage Search and Destroy.
I think when we were at Sheffield, I hugged him, and it felt like the start of Fight Club, when he hugs Meatloaf.
No, it felt like have you seen
being squashy?
Have you seen the film Big Hero with the 6 foot something, like massive fella? I felt like that. Yeah. I think I could have just hopped on his back the whole time. I mean, it's like the photo with I don't know if you've seen it with me, Paddy, Infinity, and Noonie.
Yeah.
It's like everyone was there like, "Are you 4 foot?" I'm like, "No,
it
brother,
looks like
they are
joke.
just."
It looks like someone's photoshopped you.
Yeah, I know. I need to Photoshop it to put I'll just put a box under my feet, and just so I'm up to head level to those guys. Because I do call Noonie the lighthouse because he is absolutely obnoxiously tall. Imagine God giving people that kind of height and then not lending a few of us a little bit more. Because I'm literally 5'10". People think I'm 5'4". I'm not. I'm just next to 2 enormous people. But saying that, anyways, back towards the Call of Duty. Hams is now going to be the last man out the back. And one thing we talk about, Pabs, is map 1 to map 2. Not necessarily the biggest indicator, I suppose you would say, of how a team is going to perform. But you would feel that, unfortunately, they need to get the win on this search and destroy, not only for kind of momentum and morale, but just to try and keep themselves in the game, really. Because you do fear if it goes to that Berlin control and IU Woodsticks, as good as their slaying was in map 1, it's going to be a difficult uphill battle if they drop this map 2.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be control. It's going to be an absolute uphill struggle if unfortunates aren't able to take this in terms of series longevity. It's going to be shortened considerably if they're not able to take this blockage S&D. And this is a great opportunity for them to do it, because you don't necessarily need to have the strongest strategies in the world. As long as you've got someone capable of slaying. Right now, it is only Aqua on the scoreboard, and it was a hell of a team wipe. Only Rafe not really getting involved. But Major, the comeback is on. It is almost a team wipe, with Shuro only remaining now, and this is going to be a big job for him. But the boys were unfortunate and gals have got to do the business right now.
Yeah, and a big job made bigger as the bomb now goes down as well. So Shuro's going to have to try and pick off a few people. Nope, Aqua's over towards that top barn, and he gets the pick. So a much more efficient push there on the attacking side there, must be said, from Unfortunate. Some important individual gunfights that they were able to win, and I think it will probably come down to that, to be honest. Those important one-on-ones. We've seen kind of a lot of teams get by in Search and Destroy and kind of keep their head above the water for a few rounds, just from a couple of, say, 1v2s or 1v1s around the map that they're able to pick off. And in that round, Aqua obviously won his, Alfie and Veet won theirs as well, and they've got a round on the board.
Well, I think there's a little bit of complacency crept into Woodsticks' game. I think they've obviously dominated that game one. They've come out aggressive without really supporting each other for trades, and then that's just cost them. Is unfortunate. If I managed to get a group of individual picks, again, we go into round 3, no first blood, and you can already see the people from Unfortunate trying to play a good, solid strategy. That is not going to help, though, as Aqua gets absolutely bodied by Zampi, and that is a complete four-man wipe. Someone clip that and send it to Big Hams there, because that is 2-1 to the boys from Woodsticks.
Yeah, we've seen very 3 efficient attacking rounds there. You feel it might have been a different round. Again, if they just won their individual gunfights, there wasn't really a particular trade that came through at any one moment that I spotted anyways. It was more kind of individual ones that you can see on the kills. Every single member of RU Woodsticks managed to win. So as a result of that, they have now taken round number 3 and gone 2-1 up. So we'll see now if Unfortunate decide to try and switch up their attacking play that they were opting to do in that first opening round. They are just playing for a little bit of info and a bit of a split approach here coming through from RU Woodsticks. Number 4 in HD is going to get backed up. You feel this next kill over towards maybe this B site might be huge, and Hams is able to get a pick. Zampi's going to go for the trade. You can see the aggression though from Flower straight round the corner to get the trade, and it looks as though she's going to opt to try and get this bomb down pretty much instantly.
Yeah, a little bit of support going to be needed, though, and you can see, obviously, Alfie's just got the overwatch there, and it is going to be Flower who falls. She manages to get bombed down, but again, it is going to be down to Aqua and down to Alfie. It's 2 players you probably would want on your side, and then the S&D bomb hasn't gone down, by the way. And chatting absolute bubbles, and it's going to come down to it. And unfortunately, get the win in the end. I wasn't actually able to see it. Does look like potentially Alfie Mead out the back there, able to get a few picks.
Yeah.
In fact, it was Aquilini over the top. Alfie just drops, and the final bullet flies in, and that's going to tie things up again. Excuse me, Major.
That's all right. That's all good, mate. Don't worry. It's we take it in turns around in these parts to die individually, and the other person comes through to swoop. That's why I'm very grateful for my duo. But we're ready to go for round number 4. We haven't seen round number 5, sorry, and we haven't actually seen the team defend successfully here so far on Bocco. So we'll see if that is going to change now going into round number 5. And RU Woodsticks, as expected, just playing again for info, playing again for picks. I believe Alfie was maybe tagged up a little bit. No, he wasn't actually. So he's able to get the first pick on that man down towards that A site, down towards Zig. And now it's going to be a difficult position here because that bomb has now been dropped in a really awkward spot. You can see that Zampi is just going to quickly nip through, but number 4 HC's actually managed to slip straight through the ranks here, and there's going to be a lot of people up for picking. There's one up the top. I don't think he anticipates, though, that Flower's going to be in very close proximity for the trades, and now all of a sudden it's going to be a 2 versus 3. Zampi, however, does have the bomb, but it looks as though they might try and persist and get this one down at 8.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, this has been more of a game of TDM than S&D so far, so Zampi just going to be coming into what would be a very particular danger zone right now. Flower, very patient play. Gets the picks. Does he body the player, though? No, Zampi's managing to survive. I don't think he realizes there's a player there. And Aquilini there for the cut down, and the follow-up is going to come. I do believe it's going to come by way of Flower, and that's going to put Unfortunate into the lead. And Major, that waft that we often talk about is slowly but surely starting to creep in as these teams go back and forth. And one stat that does interest me, I'd like to see, I think Alfie Mead might be leading whole lobby in first bloods, because I'm pretty certain he's either on 2 or 3 right now, but he's having, despite being 3 and 4, those first bloods have came in so important for Unfortunate.
Yeah, and also another important thing is making sure you follow up on the first bloods. We've seen a lot of teams that are good at getting first bloods, and then the next couple of lives they just kind of throw away a little bit drastically. And oh my goodness, peekaboo! Hello, boys and girls. There's 1, there's 2 straight away for V. Really nice work from V to open up the game and the round here. So now it's going to be a 2 versus 3 in a very, very quick style. Bomb in the hands of Alfie is going to look as though he's going to try and stick the bomb over towards this A site. He will manage to do it, but one man they've got to be careful of, though, is HD. Is Alfie going to manage to get away? He is, so just going to nip inside. They knows, though, HD, that he's going to be around in close proximity. You can see they're playing this very, very close to each other at the moment. Hams is inside the site. There's one for him. The trade needs to come through from Alfie. Is it going to? Yes, he is. So Alfie, with another important pick, now leaves Zampi last man up. 1 versus 2. 25 seconds left on the clock, though. Isn't going to really be his best friend here. He's going to have to try and at least take one down. Flower's waiting around the corner. Flower gets the kill, and it's another round on the board for Unfortunate.
Well, she was straight out with the jump shot there, and that is a deadly Flower if we've ever seen one. And 4-2 is the first time we've seen a 2-round deficit in this S&D, and things slowly but surely sweeping around to the unfortunate way of things. And this is what we talked about. They do desperately need this game, and we have seen these kind of two round deficit reversals before now. And it would, we've got to suggest that Woodsticks have got it in the bank to potentially still put unfortunate under pressure.
Yeah.
But when you've got Aquilini firing on all cylinders, when you've got Viola dropping 2 pieces and Flower with the jump shots, and Alfie getting those first bloods, this is definitely a round that they could possibly win.
Oh, well, if he's able to take down one, but that was absolute carnage in middle map. It was a really aggressive defensive push from Unfortunate. And it now sees Hams out the back. And unfortunately, that was not the greatest of plays because they literally just butted heads with pretty much the entire team of IU Woodsticks and grant them back around. I was going to say in the round previous, it was a really good bit of bait and switch coming through. And on the flip side in that round, it wasn't really so much to be the case. Everyone just kind of flooded through mid. They got caught on the cross. And next thing you know, you blink and the round's done.
That was British Bulldog on a UK school playground, and just blood and hair everywhere. But yeah, that kind of aggression is probably always going to favour Woodsticks, just because Aqua will take that role towards the back, just looking for oversight. And if he isn't there to witness that kind of carnage, he can't provide that kind of oversight. You can already see the aggression coming out, just trying to force the player over towards that back tank back, and it has actually worse. The number 3 there in Zampi has just been forced off the tank, and that gives some A control down to the team in blue. But this looks very, very dangerous play. As you see, Zampi and Rafe both get picks. Aquilini manages to fire back, and he goes big again with a beautiful 2-piece. He was on a 3 streak, and now he's back on a 2 streak. So great play just to level things up and major. It's going to be a 2v2 as we hit that 50-second mark.
Yeah, they are just a little bit trapped. Oh, God, no. Flower's actually going to take Hams down, so it's a team kill that comes through and now leaves Flower in the 1 versus 1. Has got the bomb, knows where Shuro is, though. Can she try and stick the bomb here without Shuro getting eyes on, or is she going to try and bait it? She's actually going to go for a really aggressive play here and try and maybe just go for the kill. You can see, though, that Shiro's had a similar idea, but he's going to try and wrap around the spawn, so they're not actually going to bump heads as of yet. They might, however, meet each other on the site. If Flower gets the timing right on this one, you can see that Shuro is just tucked away in the corner. He's just waiting for that time, and it feels inevitable at this point. And Bertie's with the follow. Thank you very much, buddy. But now 1 versus 1 Flower. Is she going to spot him out the back? Holy snapper. Didn't even give her a second to react to that one. And IU Woodsticks tie it back up.
Major, why haven't I got a shot like that? Was a thing of beauty, the speed with which he's able to get round, and those bullets just don't miss, do they? And that
slow-mo does it, no.
It doesn't help, does it at all? I can't tell you what kind of shot that I would have had if that was me. I would have been Peyton Moscow in a different game. It would have been wild. But yeah, big plays from Woodsticks to bring it back to 4-all. And we did say that they had it in the tank to potentially put Unfortunate under pressure, and that's exactly what they've done. Do you know what though, Major? This is the first time we've seen an S&D in a while where almost every single player is contributing heavily to the scoreline, and it's been a really, really outstanding S&D so far. And at 4-all again, I think they could potentially go to round 11. What is going on with Unfortunate's nades though? They are TKing for fun right now.
Yeah, Alfie's able to get a pick on the B site. So again, another 2 versus 3 situation here for IU Woodsticks, but another team kill for Unfortunate. I believe that's their second just of the map so far. Stampy is going to drop and maybe work this bomb over towards the B site. You can see that Aqua's over towards L. Is he going to check up top? Oh, he is, and he gets the pick. So, important pick. Shuro's able to get one. Can he get the second? Oh, he is. He gets the 2-piece. He's incredibly weak, but he's able to get away with his life, and he's now on a 5 streak as well to go with it. So, a really important swing round here. Now leans on the shoulders of the best current performer on the side of Unfortunate in Aqua. And now, IU Woodsticks. When does Shuro decide to try and pick this bomb up? It is over towards the B site. Aqua just checking. It looks as though he's maybe going to try and play this and bait it. Where is Shuro going to go? Doesn't spot him. I think Hams has read this to perfection. He's going to spot Shuro up the steps, and now I'm just hoping that it's not going to be a world star situation here for Aqua. And there you go, Mr. Reliable. Makes no mistake about it. So unfortunate. Important round, Pablo, an important round there, especially from Aqua, managing to pick 3 players off, I believe, in that one.
Aqua getting the job done. There's literally no fuss, no mess. He gets a pretty simple kill in the end, and just make sure that his team get to that round 11 or at least round 10. But right now we are heading that way, and Unfortunate again. Be interesting to see if they employ that aggression that they employed 2 rounds ago, just to see if they can get at least to that round 11. And sure, I want a 9 and 5. Slowly but surely started to creep up as the second to only Aqua as kill leader in the lobby. So play so far from both teams with their heroes respectively. It is going to be Nades just coming straight away down into into street, and it's going to be Zampi just looking over the wall to see if he can get any information at all. And again, very, very tentative. No one really pushing out the aggression, and no first blood as of yet. And it does look like that bomber is heading major over towards B as we hit that 1 minute mark.
Yeah, so there's the first blood going to be. V has got herself tucked up in the corner over towards the A site. It looks as though Zampi might be the important player here. He's got eyes on the jump up, but are unfortunate just going to try and push down without hopping up here. Zampi is still just waiting patiently. V has managed in the meantime to get herself in towards the bottom of the A site, and she has now tucked herself away in a corner, but I think there's a little bit of info that comes through from Zampi. He's going to switch position, and Shuro gets the first blood onto V, meanwhile, over towards the A site, so that is not what you want. And with 25 seconds left on the clock here, they've got to try and make a move quickly here. Unfortunately, they've got the bomb, but they need to try and make a decision. And with Zampi still over here, Alfie's going to get caught up while his team are just kind of hesitating. Flower's going to fall as well, and they're all kind of falling apart here. Ham's going to desperately try and stay alive. There's nothing he can do. Caught in the hut, and the waft was well and truly present there, Pablo. We're now going round 11.
I just think it felt like they were just having like a elongated conversation about where to go. They were static for such a length of time. Paul Viola got sent out on reconnaissance and gets bodied, and that just seemed to give them then the impetus to go and do the job that they've set out to do. So I think a bit of communication breakdown there for unfortunate, and they're going to need to put that to one side because they have indeed got an attacking round one more time. So they need to be a bit more determined, and now they need to make sure all their shots are hit, and you can see a lot more kind of closer together, looking for potential trades, and this is a lot more of a kind of standard push towards that A-bomb site.
Yeah, and they did the hard work in that previous round. V managed to get inside Grannies, which is arguably one of the hardest parts to do, but unfortunately, by just pushing back out onto the plat, she was able to get taken down. But another first blood, this time onto V again, as it's now going to be 3 versus 4. Stuns and nades alike are going to land onto respective team players, and now Flower, is she going to try and stick this bomb? Is she going to try and edge her way back? She is. So the bomb is now tucked into the corner, and HD's able to take down Aqua. So the best player on the side of Unfortunate so far has now dropped, and now it's all going to fall onto Flower and Alfie. Alfie's going to get caught out. Flower's going to get picked, and it's a round that's kind of run away very, very quickly from Unfortunate. And more importantly, it's going to be a map that falls away as well. Unfortunate fashion, though, in the round 11. You can see now that Shuro has now got the defuse. His team has got the map, and it now sees them 2-0 up in the series.
And that is an unfortunate place to be. Unfortunate for the unfortunates. And I think, again, this is going to be a really difficult bail-in to be heading into with this team on fire as they are. Times, they just looked really good on the back of Aquilini. We saw some big first bloods. In fact, I think two first bloods for Alfie Mead in the end, but again, not able to capitalise on their good performances at times. A little inconsistent. I think just comes down to some poor placement and a little, maybe, less experience. But again, some big gunfights going the way of the team in red, and you've got to look to Shuro with some big two pieces. And he didn't have the fastest start in the game, but he certainly made up for it in the final 4 rounds. So big place for them. 6-5. I mean, it doesn't tell the tale of the tape nearly as much as it possibly could. But heading into Berlin control again, we just got a feeling that the boys from Woodsticks just look very, very strong.
Yeah, so they're going to need the infamous reverse sweep starting on the Berlin control. So obviously a slightly slower paced map, but from what we've seen from Berlin control for the short months that it has been in the meta, it is a very, very aggressive, constant battle of pushing, especially over towards that A point, Pablo. We see a lot of teams kind of disregard the B point off the start and just try and get that A point done, because the spawns to that B point for the attacking side can be quite generous at times, and it's hard for the defensive side to even get in towards that B site.
I just think, honestly, it makes sense to an extent. We talked about it earlier on, and my thought process is, if you look at the other two control maps, if you take something like Hardpoint into account on both those maps, like, it makes no sense to push for B as it makes sense to push for B as an individual, potentially just to get the time stopped and then cap A or whatever way, if you want to do like a man push. But it's a risk because there's good distance. it's absolutely perfect sense to go for B on Berlin control. Like, it's P1, what are you going to do? And you're going to go for it in hardpoint. You're so used to doing it anyway. It's almost a perfect fair fight. So this is a perfect map. If you've got a strong team who've got great accuracy and really good trades and break into the kill really, you know, consistently, then you've got a good chance of taking B off the rip. So it's a definite tactic. And then when it comes to getting the other side, you've got the ultimate advantage. You spawn like, what, 50 yards from it, and then the other team have got to make that trek across middle, or, you know, they're only underexposed areas is down that ticket is, but you know, they're gonna have to push through fire or potentially through docks, that like street side, or potentially through the very exposed middle section. And so I think this favors the attacking teams, especially if they're good so well.
Yeah, so and one thing I think they're literally gonna have to kind of assume that needs to be done here, unfortunate, is just try and keep some of these players from IU Woodsticks quiet. Shuro, I believe, was the man who went 12 and 5 in the Search and Destroy. We saw Rafe has had some good maps, and across the board really in that map 1 respawn they all pulled their weight in terms of just general slaying here. So unfortunate, they're gonna have to look towards the other players as well. Hamza's had a good couple of maps so far, but they're obviously going to look towards the abilities of Alfie, Mauer and V to hopefully put up some decent numbers for this squad. But we are now loading in towards our Berlin map number 3, and so we're all ready and underway to go. But yeah, this opening round here, I think Pablo is going to be the pace setter here for unfortunate, to see where they're at with this map, because it can be a very brutal map to some teams. We've seen a few times on the Berlin. If you're not playing this map clean, it can end in a 3-0 very, very quickly. It's probably the only map, I think, on Control that you don't assume is going to go 3-2. It's one where if you get blown out the gates very, very quickly early doors, you see a lot of 3-0s on a Berlin Control.
Yeah, I think if you've got one team who've got very, very heavy slaying power, obviously it gives them the advantage in getting kills very, very quickly. Now we can already see this is I wouldn't say evenly matched, but as evenly matched as you could get right now. Unfortunately, are in a deficit, which we kind of expected going into this. Again, you know, players still managing to get the kills. Flowey yet to get off the mark, and I'm sure she'll be there anytime soon. She is on the struggle bus a little bit at 0-3, but it is early doors. But when you've got Zampi and HD already dropping 4, when you've got a player already on a 4 streak in HD, this is exactly what Major talked about earlier on, is you've got to try and keep these players quiet, especially, it does look like HD's fallen, but again, Zampi then jumps onto the street. So I think this is going to be the key, is stopping them from getting streaks, potentially, especially if players are getting bullied like that. And it's going to be big Alfie over towards this zone A, and he's managed to get the capture in.
Yeah, they need to make the reads here on Rafe. They need to try and stop the pinch here, because Alfie has done a good job of staying alive on the hill for as long as he could. But unfortunately, with no kills coming through from other areas of the map, it now sees an opportunity for IU Woodsticks again to push up. Zampi is here already on the point, and V doesn't realise it, so there's one pick for him. He's going to literally butt heads straight away with Alfie tucked away in the corner. And Alfie gets a second as well, so some important kills, but it is going to be Lives that's probably going to get the better of them potentially here if they can't get this B point done anyways. There's still going to be 17 seconds to work some magic. V's able to take down one in the B point. We'll stop the timer. And now the reinforcements of Blue Arrows are going to be here. But one thing, Pablo, you can see is that IU Woodsticks, they are not granting them any sort of map control here. They're looking to try and pin them in and probably slay them out on the point.
Yeah, I mean, just from the aggression, it looks like they just want an early night, and they're so close to capturing Zone B, and it's eventually going to be secured. That's going to be 1 minute 12, but only 5 lives remaining, Major. And again, well pointed out that this team just want to get this game done and dusted, and want to utilise that incredible slaying power that they have got. They've already got players on a 10 in HD, and he was on a streak, I think, at the time. Zampi 9 and 4. This is incredible plays. Now, unfortunately, with the big task of trying to get very few players, in the end, it ends up being a spawn trap, but they just got blown out from the start. Very organised from Woodsticks, and it's a 1-0 already. And it's just going to be interesting to see their approach on this attack.
Yeah, I think this is probably going to be the round that sees whether or not IU Woodsticks are not messing around here in map 3, because if they take this attacking round as convincingly as they just took that defensive one, because when you get control of the A point, we see a lot of teams trying to resist the urge of pushing straight from the front. They've got a lot of presence over here. He's going to run into pretty much the whole gang, and it is just a 4v4 over towards the A point. Zampi's going to get tagged up. There will be a trade that comes through from Shuro, and Shuro gets a second as well onto Alfie. He does manage to spot the man on the cross here. Aqua, though, looking to try and cut off those reinforcements as he does now spot one. Anticipates the second onto Rafi as well, and the shot's a little bit windless there, but he's not going to be able to get the pickers. They've still got Shuro alive in the hill. V's going to try and work the pinch quickly. Will get tagged up on the cross, and Rafi makes her pay just for missing a couple of shots. The first tick is now in. The wall bang, though, from Aqua, looking to take down a couple, and nice work there from Hams, just to try and mop up the pieces.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to look to one player in particular, you would obviously look to Hams. He's just an absolutely wonderful AR, but right now he is completely off the pace at 8 and 10, relying almost wholeheartedly on Alfie's presence, who's been absolutely, you know, the star of the show so far. A wonderful S&D, and again, he had a really good start in the hard point, but unfortunately not been able to turn that into any wins. The difference maybe this time around is the kill feed has been quite blue at times, and obviously 21 to 19 we're seeing this life advantage go the way of unFOURtunate, so clearly able to handle, but unfortunately Major, it's only in spits and parts and spits, so they need that consistency. Flower though goes absolutely huge with the two-piece. She's bringing herself ever so slightly closer to that balanced KD, and it is going to be you know, stopping Woodsticks from grabbing that B zone. They have got, this is vital actually, you know, in terms of the captured zones. unFOURtunate are on 4 themselves, so if the guys from unFOURtunate able and gals able to defend this stoutly, that could be huge.
Yeah, big trades on the point. They don't allow them to get the A point done, but just by dragging those players over that side of the map, they will secure the B point and buy themselves the additional minute. But nice work, especially in terms of just kills at the moment from unFOURtunate. They now lead the life count by 6, and nice work from V. Good reset, just to drop right on the head of Rafa and take him down, going on this kind of roaming roll, and V chopping through players is now going to leave them with a 6 life advantage. Zampi's going to get caught transitioning over the middle portion of the map, but one man they've got to be careful of is HD. He is now in the point, and they're going to have to try and use their quick play and aggression to get him out of this corner. Flower takes him down. You can see that Rafa, they're working on a quick pinch here. Are they going to make the reads here that he's going to get here? Is he going to get world's worst timing? He is. Flower checks it. Flower gets the pick. 13 plays 6, a much better round here from unFOURtunate.
Oh, they've absolutely just gone straight from the blocks as well, straight from the start. They just, the aggression that came out, but they just seem wholly more accurate, and it's really important that they keep this to this 4-tick deficit that they've got right now. They're playing equal if they can keep it like this, but again, even 3 players from Woodsticks can be troublesome, but 11v2, I'm fairly confident that the guys and gals from unFOURtunate can do the job. HD going to do everything he can to throw a spanner in the works, and you know, it's not impossible. We have seen a 2 and a 1v2 deficit before now, but again, I think HD with a very difficult job. The information's going to be out. He gets that kill though, and he decides to double back, and this is where problems start to exist, and second guesses start to come. It's going to be another pick. He gets the shot in, not able to do it. And Major, that is a huge win right there in terms of boosting your confidence, in terms of that psychological jump. That's huge for unFOURtunate, and they're tie things up at 1-0.
Yeah, and V definitely seemed a lot more comfortable just kind of going on that free roaming roll. Just through middle, over towards the B point, able to mop a couple of players up with some good timing and some clean shots to boot as well. And at the moment, a lot of engagements currently for both respective teams in the first 2 rounds, but very strong opening defensive rounds, shall I say, which is not usually something that we're used to seeing over towards the A point. As again, they're going to butt heads here. The first pick from Aqua is going to come through, and it's now going to give them the opportunity to push in. Flower's going to grab one before V drops, but now opportunity arises here for these guys now to stack the point if they do decide to do it. Zampi is just waiting for a little bit of a bait and switch. They do manage to take Aqua down out of the corner. Good reads onto Alfie on the outer lane, but Alfie with the pistol isn't willing to let go of this one just yet. They're making a bit of a meal out of this one at the moment. Are you Woodsticks? But they do finally manage to trade those players out, and V for the moment just trying to play her life in the corner. There's going to be a lot of people chasing down after her, but what it's done is gifted her team an opportunity just to get the progression over towards the B site. But one thing they are currently doing, Pablo, just opting to double stack it at the moment, which is something that we don't actually normally see in Control. We normally see leave that one person on the hill, kind of just delay the timer, try and get some more picks to try and push the life count down. But at the moment, they're doing a really good job at saying that. The Red O's come storming in, and Rafe has absolutely no more progression granted for those boys and girls, courtesy of a nice little 2-piece.
Yeah, no formation, but indeed the Red Arrow swooped in and again takes them off with that 1 tick remaining to be. And I think this game is going to come down to ticks ultimately, especially if Viola can keep it, you know, the way she's been playing is in the last round or so has just been outstanding with good movement and good accuracy as well. And 10 and 16 really doesn't tell the story of their game so far in his control. But Aqua trying to do everything he can, 20 and 18 right now, just to try and get this team a drag through and at least get one round on the board. B-Zone again is just going to be there. No one's going to jump on it. Don't think they want to quite bait out the team in red yet. Wait for that support just to come in. And you can see those blue arrows there. They're going to get a pick. Flower with a huge kill. That's going to secure zone B and just leave them in this really interesting position. If they can at least get one more zone, the next game is going to be superbly interesting to see how Woodsticks are able to react and potentially, you know, how that game 5 might develop.
Yeah, nice pick coming through from Alfie. He's having a good map so far at 19 and 15. He is going to spot another man in towards top. Oh my goodness. That was like Rob Van Dam off the top rope. He just absolutely body slams HD there in towards the back of fire. And now it's going to grant his team potentially an opportunity here just to try and disrupt the defensive hold here from IU Woodsticks. But they are still winning engagements. They don't anticipate that Aqua's going to also be here out the back. He is just going to try and play his life in and around fire, just work some lanes and wrap back round. Rafi's going to get taken down off the point, and now Aqua is going to strike a big couple of kills coming through. The players off spawn. Are they going to read it? He's still here. Hams in the back, causing absolute carnage as it now still leaves V on the point. But now she's got to make the reads that those players are going to try and push through the front here. AC's going to challenge V with one. V looking for the second onto Zampi as well. The shots aren't going to quite be enough. Rafi's going to try and wrap round again as it is just a little bit of team deathmatch here. And Flower now finds herself in a position where she's round the back. 7 lives, plays 4. This is their best bet of trying to get this point done. The trade comes through from Aquilini. Another one comes through as well. Courtesy of V. It's getting a little bit messy on the point. They're now only down to 2 lives. Rafi and Shuro. They're now going to have to try and at least contest this one. Rafi through the front is now going to get the contest through. Aqua staying prone. He's going to manage to take him down, and now it's all on Shuro. 1 versus 4. 2 players on the point. Through the door he goes. Dead to rights, and unfortunate. Take the attacking round and breathe. Oh.
Yeah. Oh my days. I mean, well done. It needed a breath at the end of that. It was an insane place. The boys from Woodsticks just throwing themselves at that zone. But absolutely monumental play from the team in blue there. They managed to cut down, but you've got to look to that play, you know, between Alfie Mead and between Aquilini and Fire, just causing absolute carnage for the defending side. And that leaves Viola with that opportunity to just get stuck in to the time. And that's going to give them, that's huge right now, because if they're able to do, you know, even get a good defense in on this, that could see them in that all-important defensive side for that game 5.
Oh, Alfie, the whole shebang is coming after him at the moment. He's going to drop. There's a really quick double pinch here coming through from Aqua and Flower. Aqua's going to try and work his way over towards the outer lane, and that's an outrageous chow from Hams. Oh my god, he's cutting through a few of them. Is he going to get the third onto Rafa? He's trying desperately to put bullets into him as he runs out of ammo. The contest comes through though from Flower. They do manage to wipe those players out, but they do, more importantly, Pablo, IU Woodsticks get that first tick.
Yeah, that's going to be big as well. Again, obviously, that's going to give them an opportunity to just get set up towards B, get that easier site done as quickly as possible. They are going to come under some pressure, but they're going to be able to rebut that as quickly as possible. But that one tick could be vital towards the end of the game, especially if they're able to get this progress as quickly as they are doing. That's going to leave them a monumental amount of time in order to get that 2 ticks. And we talk about that strategy all the time. You stop that clock by going to that further point. You're potentially giving themselves 2 minutes and 13 seconds to get the job done on 2 ticks only.
Yeah, look at number 7, Zampi. He's going all the way around the back. He's going to try and do what Alfie and Hams did in the round prior. Hams, though, wiser to it, spots him out the back, doesn't allow it. And you've still got Rafa, actually. It looks as though he's second in line to try and make a similar kind of play. V's going to manage to pick off one over towards the middle match. He might get the second one to Shuro, no. But again, Aqua is just out the back. He is going to reposition, actually, at the worst of times, which is now going to allow Rafa out the back, and it's a big kill from Rafa now, so they know that they need to try and shift him out of fire, and that's exactly what they do. The adaptation coming through here from unFOURtunate is looking rather clean. Flower somehow is still alive after getting peppered with what feels as though is saving Private Ryan amounts of bullets on D-Day Beach, but it looks as though she will eventually fall. Alfie is still over towards the A point, but they're still trying to work this pinch here. Rafa going to try and do it onto Alfie in the point. Alfie is going to get tagged up and dropped, but at the moment, just a little bit of 50-50 between these two, Pablo. A bit of a tug of war.
Yeah, absolutely. And some of the movement coming out of the ladies in the game, Flower and Viola, has been, top caliber movement. They, still struggling in terms of kills, but, in that previous round, they started to tie things up. But again, that kill feed's just a little too red. And the other problem they've got is there's just a little too, by way of too many two pieces going the way of Zampi, going the way of Rafe. So that's something they probably need to consider bringing down. But it is only 9v12, so it's still relatively close. But Shuro just given free reign, just in that very exposed outer fire bit, and he's just not going to get dealt with so much. Flower with some beautiful movement, not able to park all through that window though. It's going to be Aqua over towards bottom fire to cause trouble again. And this is something that the boys from Woodsticks haven't really been able to deal with properly, is this kind of movement and flanking that the guys and gals from unFOURtunate have been able to do. Still only one ticket A though, Major, and only 30 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, Flower's not going to spot these players transitioning over. I think the info's there, though. She's got to be careful not to get caught out here in the middle of the map. She is, however, trapped in a little bit of a sticky situation. Rafe looking to try and fly through, and the nade there, I believe, from one of the IU Woodsticks players is perfect. The team shots come through to trade her out, and now opportunity arises. 2 drops. Zampi gets a pick onto V. They are now on the point. They stop the top. Rafe, stop the top, stop the clock. As Aqua is able to grab 1 pick. They've still got to deal with Rafe in the corner. Hams with another important pick to take down 1. Looking onto HD as well, as he is just going to stay down. And with 6 seconds remaining, HD's got to try and push this. Otherwise, this map is done. He's only got 3 seconds to do it. He's going to obnoxiously fly into office, and he's able to win 1 gunfight, but there's not going to be reinforcements quick enough. And unFOURtunate, Pablo, they managed to take the round. And more importantly, wrong button, they managed to take the map.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about eating our words. We talked about how we didn't feel like Berlin Control was going to be a friend to the unFOURtunates, and it turned out that we're the unfortunate ones for not knowing this game well enough. And on the back of a 29 non-traded kills in a Control, Hams just shows you what a great AR can do. And don't get me wrong, a lot of support coming in from his team to allow him to free roam fire, free roam out towards the back of P2, but he got an absolute monumental amount of kills, and that's allowed his team to get the ticks over to that more difficult A site. So again, great plays by them, and they make us eat our words, mate, and they've got that control round going into a Tuscan hardpoint. And we talk about this map all the time. It's one of the few hardpoints where everyone knows it really well. Everyone should be able to play this quite well, and now we've got Viola and Flower looking like they are actually warmed up. Their movement was on point. They weren't able to back it up with as many kills as I'm sure they'd like, but they should now be able to put up a reasonable fight in hardpoint. So this could be an absolutely huge game going into Tuscan, and don't be surprised at all if we hit that game 5.
Yeah, putting on some big numbers there. Alfie as well, doing well. Flower holding her own. V struggled a little bit. I just feel if V puts up numbers in this map 4, there is no reason why this team can't take map 4 and push it game 5 at the moment. It looks as though there are opportunities for V to kind of, again, play that free roaming role, play for some picks, try and even just to be a nuisance. There was a couple of times where she pinched around the back, was able to pick off a couple of kills, and it just kind of disjointed what the team of IU Woodsticks were trying to do. So hopefully she can find herself in a bit more of a comfortable position on this Tuscan hardpoint, because I think the last time when I casted these lot, she did struggle on this map against Hayden's team in Ricochet Ultra. So I think she's going to be a bit of a game changer potentially in this map 4, which Tuscan hardpoint, Pabs, is pretty much your bread and butter for even playing fields when it comes to assault rifles, SMGs, pacing. It's kind of everyone's favourite, so there's not going to be any excuses here from either team if they drop this one, because they've got warm-ups out the way. The first hardpoint looked very, very convincing from IU Woodsticks, so unfortunate now, after taking that map 3, you feel, is there a bit of potential for a momentum shift in this series?
Absolutely, you've got to think, because it's so difficult to lose your rhythm. Obviously, it's very reminiscent of something like Apocalypse from Cold War, where if you lose the rhythm of the game, it's so difficult to chalk a hill and try and get set up, because the transition isn't there. You can't have someone sit mid-map, realistically speaking, because they're, in the great grand scheme of things, is there really a mid-map in Bocage when you're talking about how close P1 and P2 are to each other, and then obviously that transition over to P3. So this is different. Tuscan, you've got that opportunity to be like, you know what, we'll just screw the 15 seconds of scrap time. Let's get properly set up on P3, or, even try and get a good church hold. But ultimately, you've got those opportunities to get set up on your P1 on your second and third rotation, get set up on P3 and P2's chalk, to try and get control of Churchill, and then ultimately, you know, make a battle for P5. So a lot of opportunities, even if you are under the caution. This is one of those maps where you don't necessarily need to slay out in order to win. So it's about time, and we know the Viola and Flower can get time. They got over 2 minutes in Bocage, just weren't able to make it count in terms of kills, and we know how important kills are in Bocage. This is a different map entirely.
Yeah, and I think strong starts here are going to be important for both of the respective teams. I think if unfortunate get the ball rolling here with a strong P1, this is an opportunity for them to maybe get themselves a little bit of breathing space, allow them kind of that opportunity to rotate early, because we see a lot of teams when they struggle off the start, Pablo, the game gets away from them, especially on Tuscan very, very quickly when you're not rotating to the likes of P3 early, when you don't have that opportunity to do so. That's when you start to see kind of those 100-point deficits start to come through. So you would expect that if one team does get a very, very strong foothold on this map, this is going to be a very, very good opening start for them.
Ooh. Yeah, absolutely. And Viola looks like she's just taking that momentum straight out. She looks so comfortable with that SMG, really up close, great reactions and great movement. And again, it's you know, it's a completely different kettle of fish, Tuscan compared to Bocage, and this is a great opportunity for unfortunately. It does look like we've had a player from Woodsticks drop out, or is that a glitch? I'm not sure whether they've realised yet, but I'm sure the team of Woodsticks will let everyone know right now. 37 and 0. But yeah, this is especially if these can maintain the kind of pace. I don't know how the game's gonna unfold, but especially if they can maintain the pace, particularly Viola and Flower, this could be absolutely huge for them to get into that game 5. But again, just not sure how this game's going to pan out. It does look like it's
looks like it's going on. I think it might be a case of
Rafe.
Yeah, Rafa's gone. Yeah, so I think in this position, Woodsticks just have to keep playing. So they're going to have to just try and bung up the leaks at the moment, because at the moment it is very much so the case that it's going to be blue. But saying that, they have still managed to get an important set of kills that allows at least to stop Unfortunate from soaking up even more time. This is now going to be pretty much golden opportunities here for Unfortunate, just to try and play their numbers quickly. That looks as though that's what Flower's going to try and do as she takes down one. The chow onto Zampi isn't going to be enough. No, the pistol from Zampi onto V to shut her down to make it 4 in a row is now going to put them in a position where they are starting to claw back the lead, and Zampi, well and truly the champion now on a 5 streak, looking to potentially get maybe 6 and 7. If he manages to get a glide bomb here, with his team only trailing by 20 with 3v4, I'll tell you what, you take that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is going to be a slap in the face to Aquilini right now, who's, you know, prides himself on being a top-tier player, but right now the deficit's 10 seconds, and Zampi's on a 5 right now. I can only imagine the team in Woodsticks probably are thinking about potentially trying to bait for him, as a glide bomb would be ideal in this situation. Unfortunately, Zampi is going to fall, and that's going to just put that glide bomb right out the mines. And again, a solid setup from the team of Unfortunate, those blue arrows. It's going to be so difficult to try and form any coherent attack with 3 players. You're not going to be able to flank. The pushes are pretty much only going to come from field. There's already someone in fire watching mid. This is going to be very difficult for the team in red.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult to shift Alfie out the back as well. It's hard enough when you're down a man, but Shuro doing his utmost to try and pick off a few players, flies onto the point, but Alfie still out the back will finally get taken down by Zampi, who's oh my god, he beams Flower as well to rip her off the point, and it is going to grant them a little bit of time. And now opportunity still here, as I'm sure they've got still just a sizable advantage for 3v4, but I'll tell you what, at the moment, Woodsticks, they can hold their head high at the moment for the amount of time they're getting through, and courtesy of this man, especially Zampi, at the moment, is just chewing through Unfortunate players left, right, and centre. There's another 2-piece for him as he looks to try and push his way down the field side, spots Alfie out, and Wigs are flying off of bodies at the moment as he's able to grab another couple, but it will be now HD, apologies, as he now gets in towards the hill, spots one, spots the second, HD with the second, looking for the third onto Alfie, and my god, I tell you what, Woodsticks, they are putting up a fight here with 3v4.
Yeah, I think it's like, it's the case of the 10 men, you know, when you know that they're going to But the problem comes from, essentially, it becomes more difficult to predict where they're going to come from because they get more creative. They have to be that little bit more rogue as well. So they're not necessarily going to move in the way that they would have as a four-man, where there might be trades abound. There might be a lot closer in terms of proximity. So this becomes a little bit more difficult to read. Obviously, something like P5 should be an easier premise. But unfortunate, they just need to take control of one side and then just force the spawn from Woodsticks out to the other side. So this could be a big money hill coming up for Unfortunate right now. They've got themselves a pretty comfortable 60-second lead, but they are making an absolute meal of P5 so far. HD's just having a ball. If he gets this kill, I just think you got to write it off. Unfortunate to just playing with the food now, but this should definitely be a money hill for the team in blue.
Yeah, especially considering you can play numbers in this one. This is the easiest hill to do it on. HD's able to grab one, slides out to grab the second. I tell you what, they're still making a right meal of this at the moment, Unfortunate.
Yeah,
they are
absolutely
flying in towards the hill, and they're not getting the kills to go with at the moment. Zampi and HD especially are putting on some really big numbers in the early stage, and they're locking down the rotation. V's going to manage to take down Shuro on the point, but even with the man advantage, Pablo, Unfortunate, obviously they've got the kind of the use of having that additional man to rotate late, but they are still a little bit behind when it comes to getting towards those hills quickly.
Yeah, this is the thing that we talked about in the Bacage, though, and something that we would talk about in S&D, was that the Unfortunate allowed Woodsticks, when they had 4 men, to just individuals to get 2 pieces and 3 pieces, and that's kind of carried over into this, and this is why we're not seeing this incredible deficit that we should be seeing. And obviously, you know, one thing you've got to consider is obviously now that it's not an even game, we're seeing kind of an odd attitude towards rotation. So Unfortunate don't need to rotate early. It's not going to be 22 to 23 second rotations. This is all going to be really late. They just don't care. They've got themselves nearly a 100-second lead, and again, you know, if it does stay like this and the guys from Woodsticks just taking on the chin, we're going to be heading into a game 5.
Yeah, so next hill is probably going to be the make or break one here over on P2. Again, another hill that you can bully a lot of teams out of just with numbers, but nice pick comes through from HD. Alfie's going to get the trade, so going to look to try and push his way through. He is going to take the route through the top of church. That might go under the radar a little bit, and Agent James Bond there with the pistol out as well.
So long.
Aqua's actually going to invest the glide bomb here, so is he going to take Shuro off the point? You do anticipate that Shuro is dead to rights. Yep, so 3v4 and a glide bomb just to land right in your back pocket to go with it is not ideal there for Shuro in that one, as it now stands still at a 100-point difference. Flowers going out the back is able to rip off Zampi, and Shuro's going to get the trade though, so back on the hill they go. The nades looking to... Whew, my God, well, I'll tell you what, you don't need nades when you're shooting like that. Shuro cleans off V off the heady. There's going to be a couple more in the blender potentially as he gets another one onto Aquilini. And this P2 has not been kind to Unfortunate, even with the man advantage. And it's still going to be... Are you Woodsticks? They have the rotation, Pablo. So as much as these lads can do, they've done as much as they can, really.
Oh, yeah, I mean, they got the lion's share of the time on P2 in the second rotation. They're already set up over towards P3. That is incredible play from Viola. In fact, you would argue that it was incredibly bad play from Zampi. And one of his few altercations he's had with his firing has been a tad windy. But again, they still put up a good numbers. And Rafe has just stepped back in. And will this make a change?
Oh, no.
If they can dig Viola out the back, this could be problematic for Unfortunate, because the boys from Woodsticks have done so well without him this far.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you guys are just jumping on, Rafe hasn't been sleeping. He did have a disconnect. And I'll tell you what, now they've got that 4th man, Unfortunate might be regretting the fact that they have not got this done sooner, because Rafe's jumped straight back in and he's already here to the party. A couple of kills now puts him at 3-1. The scrap time still potentially on the cards. You can see the Flower is just lurking nearby, maybe waiting for the opportunity to fly it round the corner and maybe scoop a bit more scrap time. It's an important one-on-one. Flower's able to win it, so it will grant them a few more seconds. HD has got a lot of work to do inside the new hill. And Aqua's going to be watching over towards this P5 side where a lot of bodies are going to be pushing through towards him. He is just going to dip back out, but no, he's not going to be able to. And now 30 seconds remain here for RU Woodsticks to try and keep themselves in this one. Rafe up top, able to win an important pick. You can see Zampi's out the back, but Aqua spots him. V grabs one. Vi grabs the second. Aqua grabs the first on. Alfie's going to drop one as well in all that madness. And Shuro still playing his life. But meanwhile, Pablo, the time is ticking and it is looking a little bit inevitable at this point. But they do get the kills.
Yeah, this is the thing. It's become very difficult to call, but really at this kind of stage, you would expect Unfortunate to pick up 16 seconds, at least if not in this hill, but in another one. They definitely have got the firepower, but again, will they regret? The kill feed goes almost entirely blue. Unfortunately, Viola again managing to carry on the trend of each game, getting a team kill from one of the members of the team in blue, but this is going to be very difficult. Scrap time going the way of Woodsticks, and this is where the problem goes. The guys and gals from Unfortunate not really used to rotating properly at all in this game. have decided to come to P5 quite late, and it's going to be down to Rafe. That's a big kill on Rafe, though, Major, as he drops, and that could be the death knell for this round, and Major, we could be heading into a game 5.
Yeah, and V just causing a little bit of upset just by playing a bit of a pinch. And now those red arrows, they're going to have to go quickly. Rafe, though, with a big kill. He's not going to be able to get the second, though, and only 3 seconds remain here. They've got to try and contest the hill. I don't think Shuro's going to get there, and no, he won't. So courtesy of the disconnect, it's now going to be unfortunate that force the game 5, 250 to 142. And I'll tell you what, you kind of take what you're given at this stage, Pablo. It was a bit of a messy one when it was 4v3 for the long period of time that it was, but they're here in the position where they can now potentially take the series.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to look to Viola, 22 and 16, 1 minute 39, definitely the player of that round, but they made a meal of it. And you know, if Aqua ever gives me any crap about being a terrible Call of Duty player, I'm just going to remind him that he had to glide a 3-man. So, it's something I've never had to do. 250 to 180 on Tuscan Cardboard doesn't really tell the tale of the tape on that one. An unusual game where Rafe, if you have just joined, disconnected at the start of the game, and a team from Woodsticks to like just carried on, and they unfortunately get it done in the end. But Major, they did make an absolute meal of it.
Yeah, let me just quickly.
Apologies, boss.
Woodsticks, that's right. I just need to update the map command. So it is now 2-2, and we are now going game 5. So I think Rafe put in the chat after, can we get a replay? It was a little bit of a cheeky late ask. I think the lads, the way the rules work is they have to leave by a certain point, and because they continued playing, they weren't able to do it. So I'm pretty sure we are now going in towards our game 5.
The benefits of an in-game leader who just makes that call immediately.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I'm not sure whether it's a case of if they knew or if they didn't know, but we've got our game 5 nonetheless, and we're pretty much ready to go. So the map 2, Pablo, the Search and Destroy, was 6-5. So it wouldn't surprise me here on Tuscan, which again can be a little bit back and forth. Could be another 6-5, to be honest. I don't want to call it too soon, but you never know. You never know.
It's going to be even closer. I think the all teams are warmed up. We've just seen Viola start to hit some really good form. I think Flower has got great movement and sometimes just a little erratic in terms of the kills. And I think if she can come into the fore in this game a little bit more, who knows? Unfortunate might even win. But we know that we're going to be looking for that big AR presence coming out of Aquilini, and we know that we're going to be looking for those big first bloods, and really those 2 and 3 pieces coming out of potentially Alfie Medium. Unfortunate want to win this, but again, you've got to look to the Shuro. He was such a massive, important player for Woodsticks in that second that game of S&D on Bocage. If he manages to get another 12, well, unfortunately, can say, you know, they've done well, they got this far, but Woodsticks just took it in the end. Keep him quiet. I think you're going to win this game.
Yeah, and I just want to quickly shout out V for the sub. Thank you very much, V. And thank you very much. And hopefully she has a really good game 5 here, and so to potentially do her team, because I believe, I think they're 1-1. I do have the let me just get this right. The standings here at the moment. So unfortunate as hang on, let me just quickly try and sort that out because I'm missing a team. There you go. It is going to be the boys and gals of Unfortunate. Now I think because of certain stuff going on behind the scenes, Ricochet Ultra have forfeited their first 2 wins. So Unfortunate are actually 1-1. IU Woodsticks are still, well, according to this, are 0-1.
Naughty hate.
But an important, yeah, oh, you know, I didn't know if you knew. I didn't want to say anything because I don't get involved in this stuff anyway. But yeah, it's going to be a position where Unfortunate could potentially go 2-1 here, which in a very strong division, Pablo, you would take all day, any day. Obviously, the Ricochet Ultra one that they did lose is unfortunate, but no pun intended. I keep doing that out of habit. But if they take this map and they go 2-1 up, they've arguably got some of the difficult teams out of their way in this one. They've obviously, I think the other loss was to Milkers, who actually beat Ricochet Ultra in the final last season. So they've got the hardest, arguably one of the hardest games out of the way. So take this map, take the series. It's looking pretty good.
Yeah, and not just that. I mean, obviously, each game you get a bit more experience. Each game you're going to get that bit more time with your teammates. So they're just going to go from strength to strength. And right now, obviously, we know Alfie Mead and we know Aquilini inside and out. But it's great to see the movement coming out of the two girls. It's impeccable at times. They're very, very fast, very frantic, and obviously enjoy that close quarter environment. So yeah, that's the kind of SMG play I love to see. That kind of wild, one player who can take 3 players down in the space of a nanosecond. So yeah, hopefully they can just build on that. But this is going to be, again, it's a totally different kettle of fish. This is not Buckard's S&D. You are going to have to be more composed. You're going to have to, you're not going to be, unless you push middle like super crazy, or you get butt heads in P5, then you're going to have to take your picks as they come, and it would potentially be over distance. It's going to be interesting to see if they're going to stick to the SMGs. If so, they're going to have to play their roots. They're going to have to think about their roots going into this as well, because there is a lot of potential problems coming out of the ARs from Woodsticks, and we just know how accurate Zampi's been in this game. We know how well Shuro did in S&D, so this could be an interesting matchup, and I'm just interested to see how the ice in the veins are for the girls of unFOURtunate.
Yeah, and I will just quickly mention to the stream, my OBS is doing what I did last time, which it just doesn't like Vanguard OBS. It just really hates it as a game, because I can hear Pablo perfectly fine through Discord, so it's not my net.
OBS.
And hopefully it manages to survive long enough for the game 5, because I can see that the frames are dropping at the moment. So if it does lag, apologies guys. Hopefully it doesn't drop out completely. If the stream does drop, don't worry, it will be back up and running as soon as possible. But yeah, game 5, Tuscan Search and Destroy, is now on the horizon. We are just waiting on the guys to press the big green button, and then we should be good to go. But a shout out performance here. I suppose we've got to do it. I don't like to do it because I don't like his ego big enough as it is, but Aqua's been a really good contributor to unFOURtunate at the moment, Pablo. And again, when you're going into the game 5, you just want to kind of, it's good to have that player that you can kind of lean on to be a consistent performer, put up big numbers. You can always look at the leaderboard and go, okay, he's pulling a bit of weight. If other players are struggling, you would like to see a situation, ideally, from both respective teams where everyone's doing their own thing. But it is always good to have that player to lean on. It feels as though unFOURtunate and Alfie are kind of those two on the side of Aqua and Alfie on the side of unFOURtunate are those players that they lean to sometimes. But are you Woodsticks? You could argue that all 4 players, from what we've seen anyway, have the ability to pop off at any time. So again, they've got that kind of that lean to if they need it, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'd go as far to say Viola, obviously, I think is another player that has just absolutely dragged unFOURtunate through the last game in particular. But yeah, Aqua, obviously one of these players. I mean, I don't know if anyone in the chat will not know who he is, but again, he was obviously pulled away from Vanguard by stuff in real life, and he's one of those players that you would see in a top 16 side in challenges without any shadow of doubt. A very capable player, and just not able to put the kind of time in required to do that. So always interesting to watch, and a great AR. Flower, probably the one player, the outlying factor here. If she has a great game, unFOURtunate potentially could go on to do quite well here. Again, it's about reading where potentially players are. We can see she's just trying to grab information. It is a 1v3. She's going to stumble across a player. She's got that info now. I'm going to be pushing out towards platform. The pre-fire just not there. And again, this is the one thing we talk about. You just got to take your opportunities when they come across, and potentially a little pre-fire there may have been just what she needed to do.
So HD with his second kill in the opening round, and now it does see him and his team take the lead. So we'll wait and see what these lads have got. I'm making new accents by the day, I'm telling you. What these Lloyds...
heat?
Yeah, I am starting to sweat a little bit now, I'm not going to lie. As soon as this one's done, I'll tell you what, the fan is going full whack while we wait for the aircon unit to arrive.
Straight down the side of the short leg.
Yeah, literally. It's breezes in all directions. But now in towards round number 2 we go. IU are going to take the bomb over towards the A site. There's a lot of kind of opportunity here, maybe for unFOURtunate to get some good timing. Rafe on the bomb is going to get spotted, and my god, the reactions to just absolutely leg it away from the oncoming player here. Aqua, though, will, however, still get the first blood. You can see, though, the number 3 V going all the way around the back. Zampi is behind the truck here. Surely she's going to spot him and get the pick. V, yep, there you go. There's that one, and now all of a sudden, Rafe left in the 1 versus 4. It's looking a bit bleak. He's going ring around the roses here with a couple of them. Does manage to take down one. Flower looking for the trade. Oh no, and Rafe gets the second. So it is now a 1 versus 2. And now he just needs to try and isolate these players. And V, if she's not careful, she might get picked off as well.
Yeah, I think good reactions required here from Viola, and she's going to get them. She's been impeccable and really untouchable for the last 2 games, and it's good that she's managed to bring this back to parity, because again, 2-0 on the side of Woodsticks, and you start to fear that it might run away from the team, and especially with that loss from Flower over towards that flat side of the B-bomb site. So big moment right there for unFOURtunate, going to keep it at 1-1, parity restored. You unusually with 2 rounds in, Alfie, one of the players we know can get first bloods, but again, you know, one thing that does surprise me, Major, is that Woodsticks were kind of very brazenly through mid, quite exposed, took the time getting the bomb down, and then we saw that Usain Bolt moment from the bomb, but we can hear some fire. It is going down towards that, and it is going to be a big push, but Major, you've got to look towards number 8 in HD, who's going to come in from behind. It's going to be huge.
Yeah, V's watching the back. So is Hams. There's one, and he's actually going to manage to slip away with his life here. V is desperately hunting for the trade here. Should manage to get it, and she does. So it is now going to be a 3 versus 3. One thing they've got to be careful of, though, is not getting trapped inside P5. They are going to just try and get away. But he's got some good timing, actually, because I think Zampi was watching in towards top fire. Did he get the info? The one's there. He definitely knows that Alfie's there, at least. The nade is out, and he might actually be able to grab a potential pick onto Alfie here. The nade actually doesn't even hit, so 40 seconds left on the clock. Still have the bomb in the hands of Flower, but they've got to try and decide soon, Pablo. The longer this goes on, you feel Woodsticks are probably going to get locked into position, and they're going to be in a situation that they're probably not going to want to be in. As Shuro takes down one, Shuro almost gets the second as well, and 25 seconds, they need to be quick.
Yeah, and left with Flower and Alfie, who haven't had the best start. They're going to have to just try and team up on this one, but they're going to have to do a great job of dealing with this one player. He spotted him. Oh, the trigger discipline comes out, but the player in Zampi manages to drop Flower, but it's going to be Alfie with the retrade back out, but from fire, the saviour has been born, and it's Woodsticks who manages to get the win, and they're going to take a 1-round lead. But again, this comes down to that very kind of like patient play coming in defense. They get aggressive in attack, and they're very patient, and you can see almost just the kind of lack of not lack of communication, but that lack of decision making coming out of the team. And unFOURtunate, those blue arrows not really able to be confident in the push and try and get bomb site control. A little too reliant potentially on a first blood when first bloods aren't really being kind of like, you know, taken advantage of.
Yeah, and I will just quickly shout it out again, because Hayes has noticed, Chris has spotted that the stream is lagging. Apologies, guys. I don't know why OBS does this at the moment. I think it's near the most recent update, the Vanguard update. OBS just doesn't like this game. So apologies if it is skipping. Hopefully it does stabilize a little bit. It's done this before, and it did eventually stop the hissy fit and get into it. But it's now going to be a position of Woodsticks being left in another 2 versus 3. Rafe and Shuro are just baiting out any sort of push from these players. From unFOURtunate, but where is this next engagement? It looks as though Flower is in P5, but on the lower side of it, and unFOURtunate. Flower with one. The trade comes through as I literally just switched POV at the second she got the first pick. So now Rafe, 1 versus 2, 28 seconds. You've got to be quick, but I'll tell you what, the positioning at the moment from unFOURtunate, they are relatively close, and you feel that they're going to check this bomb shortly.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're just going to wait potentially for around 10 seconds and then just start to peek. Obviously, they know a player needs to get that bomb down, and he hasn't got time to really go on the search. So, again, this is club play. You can see number 1 in Alfie, a good S&D player. Has seen that, but again, it's going to be Rafe straight off bomb, no messing around. They're going to get straight into the defuse, and I don't think anyone's going to watch middle. So this is going to be really, really important. He's going to get a pretty easy kill, but the defuse is in, and that's going to be unFOURtunate with the win, and they're going to bring it back to parity again, Major. And we're bouncing. It's ping pong rounds at the minute. It's exactly like that game 2 that we saw on Buckeyes S&D. But no one really getting a foothold in this game. We're seeing Shuro uncharacteristically low in terms of kills, 1 and 3. Almost everyone, you know, Woodsticks relying almost entirely on Rafe. And right now, you know, unFOURtunate, just everyone, you know, trying to pull the weight with Alfie just slowly but surely coming back into the game.
Yeah, so the waft is slowly starting to descend in towards this game 5 at the moment, as it looks like again.
It stinks of it.
Yeah, maybe it's just the heat. I've been sweating too much. It could be that. I don't know. Either or. But oh no, Zampi's actually going to land a golden nade. But unfortunately, it's his teammate that's on the other end of it. And now they are going to fly out towards a point. Flower's just going to unfortunately check it a little bit too long on that one. V now going to have an important gunfight down towards that P1, P2 steps. Apologies, as now a trade comes through again from Rafate, who now puts himself to 6 in a row. And the last thing that they want to do here is gift him streaks, and that's a really big kill that comes through from Aqua. No streaks going to be obtained from RU Woodsticks. They are going to now stick the bomb over towards B, and now Shuro's going to have to try and decide which way he tries to push this from.
Well, if anyone wants a regain from their previous performance, Shuro's going to have to do it now in a 1v2 clutch on Tuscan, S and D, and the bomb is down over towards B, and you can see those players quite tight in towards stairs, and it looks like there is one player kind of playing with the idea of pushing plat. So again, that's going to be big shots, and that's a huge kill. It is Aquilini last alive, and again, he knows where that player is, so he is just going to peek and wait for that push, and Aqua's positioning just perfect. I think he's going to retransition. The defuse is going to go straight in. I think Aqua's going to get the read, and that's going to be a pretty easy kill in the end. And again, we see unFOURtunate take a 1-round lead, and Major still no one able to really get a foothold in this game. I thoroughly expect the boys from Woodsticks to potentially bounce this back. What is it that they need to do in order to get that 2-round deficit? And obviously we need to see Alfie Mead potentially just start to contribute that bit more.
Yeah, it definitely feels as though kind of on both respective sides, you've got kind of, I mean, V's having a really good map, to be fair to her. 6 and 4 currently off the start, but Rafe on the sides of RU Woodsticks just needs a little bit more coming out of his boys. You feel if he was able to get it, it might be a position where they might be the team in the lead, but they're not, and it's going to be a first blood of V. Is she going to win the gunfight? She is, and HD's going to drop the trades. Oh, here, they're absolutely everywhere over the map. Aqua in towards P5 is going to have another gunfight on towards Rafe, but Rafe just flies on towards him and gets a really important pick for his 11th kill of the Search and Destroy, and you can see why he's managed to see himself over double digits now as he manages to take down Aquilini. So now, again, another 2 versus 2. RU Woodsticks playing it close. Rafe and Zampi side by side. It looks as though A is going to be the destination. Alfie and Flower are still playing this relatively close together, but the question is when they're going to maybe try and check this bomb plant. He is just waiting out, is Rafe. Nothing as of yet, but now the bomb will go down, and you are going to start to see those blue arrows switch directions very, very quickly, and all of a sudden there's gunfights all over the place. Flower's not able to win her one, and now Alfie, last man up, 1 versus 2.
It's a difficult situation, especially when you're exposed in mid, and that's exactly what happens when you do try and push a difficult bomb site with those 2 players there, and it's going to be Woodsticks, as we suggested, able to bite back. And Major, I need Rafe's reconnect, because when he disconnected, again, he was having a good series, but he is absolutely flown through this S&D, and now he's on a 12, and we're only 6 rounds in with potentially, 5 more rounds to go. So Rafe could be well hitting some big numbers. And again, unFOURtunate, he got to look to Alfie Mead 1 and 5 right now. We know Flowers on a 4 and 6. But you player we talked about at the start is someone that usually does put up good numbers in S&D is Aquilini. So again, a couple of players just off the boil, kind of being dragged through their paces by Viola right now, 7 and 5. But it's going to be a strong push towards that B bomb site. And again, this lack of the kind of determination to push through that final third. They're so desperate to get that pick. That's allowed not only the transition, but you can see number 8 in HD has got the flank. Last time he was able to get a pick. Is he going to get it again? Yes, the reaction time is in there. He finally gets dealt with. But again, this becomes all about the control in B. So it comes down to 7, Major, with Zampi and Shuro, the last 2 alive for Woodsticks.
Yep. And it looks as though the call is to try and wrap this bomb to A. So
madness.
Whether or not they're going to get the information here will be the game changer potentially in this round. Aqua with bomb is going downfield side, but now is Zampi going to read this? He looks as though he's not going to check downfield side. With 25 seconds left, bomb is now going down from Aqua. It feels as though it's pretty much inevitable. You can see Shuro there just up towards the top, but now the repositioning is going to be the all-important one here. Can they get towards those power positions? Alfie over towards the back tree is going to be a difficult man to shift. And Shuro has managed to get himself into L, and they're not going to maybe see this one. So Alfie's going to get taken down. Is the trade going to come through quickly enough? Flower isn't going to get the trade. And more importantly, I don't think she gets the info. And Aqua's really stuck in middle map here over towards that truck side. She needs to try and help him out. Shuro's going to take Aqua down. So now Flower needs to try and work some magic. 17 seconds left on the clock. She's going to get the pick, but it's not going to be enough. Shuro will get the defuse, and they will take the site. And more importantly, they take the round and take the lead to go with it.
Yeah, and that's 2 rounds on the bounce. So that's the first in this S&D that we've seen a little bit of control start to go the way of one team. And more importantly, we talked about the players that weren't firing on all cylinders. Well, Shuro was completely made up for that. He was 1-4 going into this round, or he's 1-5, and now he's 5-5. So huge plays from Shuro, and a great work from him. He's on a 3 streak. He must have been 2-5. I'm just making figures up now, Major, as I go along. And it is going to be unfortunate to now need to bounce back, and that's going to put them on the back foot. So the roles have been reversed thanks to this 2-round bounce from the team in Woodsticks. And again, we hit this round 8, and let's just see what the team in blue can do. Big kills required from Alfie Mead, 2 and 6, not having the best game out of his career so far.
Yeah, you can see that Aqua's been forced to back up here. This is a big set of kills here. If he's able, to get maybe 1, if not 2. So the first pick comes through. They do have a lot of bodies over towards the plat side, and Flower in towards top green. Got to be careful not to overchal anything just yet. He does have V with her, so the dynamic female duo up towards the top of church here. They're still exchanging a lot of shots at the moment, but no pick has come through just yet. Zampi is getting leathered with bullets, and meanwhile V's going to get taken down. Rafi's going to get caught in the cross, though. Aqua, with some god timing, is able to grab the pick. And now that bomb has been dropped over towards the B site, so it's not going to allow RU Woodsticks the opportunity to wrap it. They are going to have to try and force unFOURtunate out of these positions. Flower has been spotted in towards the top of green. Shuro with some patience, able to take Flower down. So now 2 versus 2. Alfie's got to be careful of the player on the right, and now it's all on Aqua.
Alfie
Needs a 1 versus 2, and this is a really, really big round here. Shuro is now planting the bomb. Is Aqua going to try and check this at the right time? Bomb goes down. Surely, is he going to get 1? Aqua's no. Zambi's going to fly right past him, gets the kill, and RU Woodsticks are now right on the precipice of taking this game 5.
Yeah, Aqua was doing so well out towards the back. He was getting picks. His team were just a little bit too cautious. And once the Woodsticks guys, once they make that transition to church, you think, well, surely the team in unFOURtunate are going to deal with this. Aqua switches out his gun to his less preferred SMG, gets into a close quarter battle, and cannot get the kill. And you just feel that Aqua, if he stays in the back position, if he stays on the AR, he's going to have that control of that B bomb site, and he's going to at least able to get 1 pick there. So again, I don't know whether some poor decision making or what, which seems to have been the hallmark of unFOURtunate's S&D so far, but that is not a great start. As HD puts unFOURtunate to the Kosh, Major. It's a 2v3.
Yeah, unfortunately there, Flower went over the top down towards well, and they kind of went single file with the female duo. So now Alfie and Aqua are going to have to work a monumental round here if they're going to keep themselves alive in this one. That bomb has been dropped over towards well. Aqua does get a bit of information as to the whereabouts of 1 player at least, as he tries to progress his way up long. But he's going to need to at least get 1 pick out of this. Zampi in towards the top of church. Is he going to get some good timing onto Zampi? He is. Aqua gets some bullets in, but he's not able to get the kill. Alfie does, however, manage to retrieve the bomb, and now they're going to have to try and get Alfie over towards the site quickly here. 2 players are going to be hitting from long here. You feel as though Aqua has got a really important job on his hands. He's able to get 1 pick. So now 2 versus 2. Bombs planted. 45 seconds on the clock. And RU Woodsticks, it looks as though they're going to try and work a pinch hit.
Yeah, this is the like original Vanguard way of trying to get your bomb site back, is just split up and try and get information, because the time to kill is so quick.
Big round.
Aquilini with the big brain plays though, right out to the back, gets the kill and brings it back to within 1 round. The question is, Major, can they do what they haven't been able to do all game essentially in S&D, which is string two rounds back to back?
Yeah, and that was a lifeline there for unFOURtunate. Alfie and Aqua were able to grant them that. But they still need 2 more rounds without an answer here from RU Woodsticks. Otherwise, this game 5 will go in favour of the team in red. So, bomb in the hands of Rafe. Where are they going to try and run this? It looks as though there's going to be a little bit of a split approach coming through here. Zampi with a nade, cooking 1 up special for Alfie in towards the top of church. Won't actually get any sort of information. Now we've just got the infamous standoff that we're used to seeing on the Tuscan. Oh, an important first blood here for Flower in towards middle map. So, unFOURtunate get the first blood, and now you feel they've got to really capitalise on this one in this round.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it looked like it was going to be a kind of half-hearted push to B, where you just then, retransition through mid to try and capture any players in a more difficult position. But They have been caught out towards tiles. So again, I think this is going to end up being transited over towards A, with the original strategy still being employed. So this is going to be very difficult for Rafe to survive. What is going to be something of a gauntlet once that bomb goes down. He is going to take up this position over towards mid and maybe look to try and get top. And this is going to be perfect timing for Aqua, who again, Major just in the right place at the right time. And it's a 4v2 with 28 seconds on the clock. Major, the smell of around 11 is invading our nostrils.
Oh, I can smell it like a neighbouring barbecue now. It's well and truly in the air, and there we go. We get the round 11. Unfortunate. They do what they've struggled to do in the search. They get the rounds back to back, and they will now force the round 11. And see there with the final kill onto the last remaining man. So who is going to get offense? Who is going to get defense here? We'll have to wait and see. And it is going to be Unfortunate, who are on the attacking side here. So at the moment, I mean, when you just look at the kills, Pablo, what is that? Combined quick maths 8 on the side of Unfortunate. So 2 rounds very much in their favour. And now round 11, First Blood's going to be the game changer here again.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's started to pick up kills, and that's largely been the catalyst for them to get a few rounds. But Aqua, Viola, and Flower, 9, 8, and 8 have had a monumental S&D so far. And obviously, Woodsticks largely on the back of a reconnected Rafe, 13 and 6, and that's a big pinch from HD. He is going to get dealt with again. His shot's so accurate, he nearly gets the 2-piece. Shuro not able to get the pick over towards Aqua, and that would have been an important kill. You put Aqua to bed like that. Rafe, though, with the repinch, gets the pick and dips, and Major, that could be huge. It's a 3v2 with 50 seconds remaining. This could be a vital kill now required for Unfortunate to parity things up.
They've got to try and push out one of these sides here, because at the moment they are in a really difficult spot where they're just going to get pinched. It's 3v2. They don't have the numbers. They've got to try and force out one of the sides here. And with 30 seconds left, they've got to decide which one it's going to be. V has recovered bomb. You can see the spread of bodies that IU Woodsticks have got at the moment. It looks as though Rafe's potentially going to be the game changer here. Rafe picks towards the top now. Aqua's going to get some bullets in, but V's going to fall, and the bomb is now dropped. Aqua now, it looks as though number 6 Shuro is hunting for the kill. He's surely going to get shot in the back very, very shortly. The nades are looking to try and push him out of this position. He's so isolated here at the moment. Is Aqua. He gets some shots into one. It can't be enough, and it's going to be a win on the boards here for IU Woodsticks. They do manage to get it done in the round 11. And the clutch factor comes through for these lads, and what's the word? I was going to say rightfully so. That's the one. Are going to be the winners of this game.
I mean, absolutely, they were in the driving seat for large proportions of this game. I think Unfortunate, again, we hate to say it, we're just unlucky that they, decision making at times was just off the boil. They found themselves getting stuck in no man's land with bomb, not really following through on initial pushes. They found themselves in P5 an awful lot of the time, waiting to push through to B and never quite doing it, and it's cost them a couple of rounds when they probably could have won the gunfights. But at the end of the day, a deserved victory probably for Woodsticks, but great performance from Unfortunate.
Yeah, so it's going to be
gonna die.
It's going to be a game 5 that goes the way, and it is going to go the way of IU Woodsticks there. But GG's to the boys and gals. It takes 2 great teams to make a great series, and even with their man disconnecting towards that map number 3, they do, however, get it done, and they will secure another win in the league. Unfortunately enough, aren't going to take that one, but I'm sure those guys and gals will manage to regroup and come back stronger next time. As unfortunately, we do have to have a winner and a loser in these games. But IU Woodsticks looking very strong here so far in the division. But that is going to be it from myself and Pablito for the evening. I am going to go and sit in front of a fan and feel sorry for myself in the heat and open as many windows as possible without dying of hay fever. So that's always a positive. But yeah, a big shout out to everyone who's dropped by, new and old. A big shout out as well to V, Felix, Ollie, Prezi, thank you very much for the subs, and George with the tig old biddies as well. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. And oh, Shuro, oh my god, he's gifted 10. Yo, thank you so much, man. Holy, well there you go. That's a way to top off a win.
Well, he gifted Woodsticks 12 on that first S&D, so
yeah,
hats off to him. Great performance.
Yeah, thank you very much, mate. Holy shit balls. Thank you so much, buddy.
We're back Sunday.
Yeah,
brother.
Yeah. So I don't know whether or not we'll have a cast potentially. Maybe tomorrow and Friday. We are definitely, me and Pablo, if you guys don't know, we are going to be casting Call of Duty Elites, LCQs, sorry, I get the vocab mixed up, too many long words for me. LCQs, me and Pabs are going to be casting the first half of that and then we're going to be palming it over to the gods of Proper and Brody. So yeah, if you guys want to watch some challenges, LCQs, we will be on the screens for those.
We just start calling Brody Giant Brody as well, because he's a giant.
Yeah, no, I didn't anticipate Brody was that tall until he told. I think he did tell us like a few weeks ago, or a couple of months ago. Oh, was it 20 gifted? Huh? Oh my God, he's gifted another 10. What? Oh my days. Sure, man. Thank you so much, brother. I'll drop you a deal as well after this one. Oh my God, thank you so much for the... I didn't realise this, because the first 10 gifted hadn't gone through, so it hadn't registered the second 10 as well on my thing. Thank you so much, buddy, man. And RU Vipers as well with the 2 get. Jesus, the RU squad are coming through huge. Oh my God, thank you so much, man. That is extremely generous of you. That is absolutely outrageous. Thank you so much, buddy. But hopefully, we guys can bring you some more COD sooner rather than later. As mentioned, me and Pablo will definitely be live on Sunday. Hopefully we'll pick up some games over the weekend up to that one. And oh, no worries, Alfie. Anytime, buddy. Anytime. But yeah, that is going to be it for me and Pablo this evening. Again, a huge shout out once again to everyone for the gifted subs, especially towards Shura and then Vipers at the end. That is some outrageous generosity from you, brother. So thank you very much. And yeah, I will, however, see if there is anyone that we can show some love to on a raid. You guys know the drill by now. We've got to support the squadron out there streaming. Kelsa Rooney, there you go. She doesn't stream often, but she is now. So we'll raid Queen Kels. Doing a bit of Fall Guys as well. If you guys haven't played this game, it's an absolute laugh. Let me just quickly raid Kelsa Rooney. There you go. So if you guys and gals can head over to Queen Kels, drop her a follow, and show some love as well. That'll be very much appreciated. But that is it from myself and Pablo. Hopefully we'll see you guys in your beautiful faces sooner rather than later. And yeah, thank you very much for tuning in, guys. And hopefully you don't melt in the heat like we do. Get yourself a nice lolly and get an AC unit if you can, because that's what I've done, and hopefully it's going to be a game changer. But yeah, hopefully see you guys soon. Thank you very much, guys. We'll see you later.